What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity ANC, joined by my own hot commodity, who is here to cover WWE Monday Night Raw from April 28th, 2025, live in Kansas City, Missouri. This is right after WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, where we saw Bron Breakker join forces with Seth Rollins. And that's sort of the main focus of this episode of Raw here. What'd you think of the episode before we jump into it?
Well, it wasn't quite as good as the first Raw after. Wait, was this the first Raw after?
No, this was the second.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as good as the first one, but it was definitely decent.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
So we see, as I said earlier, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Paul Heyman come out to the ring.
Paul friggin' Breakker,
That's funny. Seth says it's a little difficult for some of you who still want to chant for CM Punk and put your fingers in the air for Roman Reigns. What you're looking at is the future of our industry. The future with Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker runs through Seth frickin' Rollins. And then Sami Zayn comes out. Seth says, "Welcome back to Raw. You call it WrestleMania, right?" And then Sami says, "I saw the main event. How long have we been friends? I feel the need as a friend to come out here and tell you this is a load of crap. The one thing CM Punk and Roman Reigns have in common is standing over your shoulder. How are you different? Maybe you were jealous and want to be in the position they were in. The vision of the future is Seth Rollins being front and center. It's hypocritical. If your little dog keeps looking at me like that, he'll get his face kicked in," talking about Bron Breakker. Seth says, you're either with us or you become a target, and I don't want you to become a target. We can get you moved off of Raw. You're not going to buy into what we're selling, but maybe we can cash you out. Think about it. We're going to need an answer by the end of the night. So Seth is basically telling Sami, you're not going to agree with us, and if you don't, we're pretty much going to destroy you, so why don't you go to SmackDown so that doesn't happen.
The thing about this is I feel like it was kind of wasted on Sami Zayn. You know, like, if they did this to Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton, or I could see it, but is Sami Zayn that big of a threat to Seth Rollins' vision?
I don't think so, but right now it's like they're not going to do any big things until SummerSlam, so they're going to put whoever in.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I agree. I don't think Sami Zayn is a threat at all. But next we see Roxanne Perez taking on Rhea Ripley. Roxanne hits a lion saw and then it applies an Indian deathlock to Rhea. Rhea lands on Razor's edge and then a kick to the head for a 2 count. Giulia comes out and distracts Rhea. Rhea grabs Giulia and then goes for a riptide to Roxanne, but Giulia chop blocks Rhea Ripley, so Rhea gets the DQ victory. After Giulia and Roxanne attack Rhea until the World Women's Champion Io Sky runs out and makes a save. Roxanne and Giulia then double team Io, but Rhea makes a save. And I feel like we're going to get a tag match between these two, either at Backlash or down the line on Raw, but now we know that Roxanne and Giulia did their main roster debut. They're going to be on Raw. What do you think?
I liked it. I guess it was kind of like the only ending that could happen because they don't want her to lose on her first night, and Rhea's not going to lose to Roxanne. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what they had to work with. But yeah, I'd like to see that as a tag match, and maybe one of those teams will end up getting the championship because we know Liv's leaving for a month. So,
well, Liv, they said that she wouldn't drop the title when she leaves, that she would still be champion. But they might make her lose. But they flip flop those titles too much lately. So, but I think that I like seeing Roxanne and Giulia on the main roster though because they're both very good. Judgment Day are talking backstage, and the whole premise of this is that Finn Balor didn't know that JD McDonald was coming back, and Judgment Day is like, chill, everything's going to be fine. We find out Liv Morgan is going to be in a movie, so she will be gone for a bit to film it. And everyone's like, oh my God, enjoy her while you have her because she's going to become the next breakout. But it's like, really? Like, I really don't think she's really going to become anything. Not that she couldn't, but...
Yeah, I love Liv Morgan, but... Yeah.
We see Logan Paul coming out to the ring next.
We don't know what her acting capability is really. Like,
she acts like the whole fucking Judgment Day thing is still good.
yeah.
Logan Paul says, "You people are so stupid. You don't know what a true legend looks like. A true legend doesn't look like your world champion, Jey Uso. Jey, consider your days numbered because you have something I want, the world title." That's when world champion Jey Uso comes out. Jey says that he thinks after 15 years, I'm going to hand this over to some YouTuber. Stop. I watched Gunther beat my twin to a bloody pulp, and it lit a fire in me that's not going out. If you want it, come take it. Logan said, I've done more in 4 years than you did in 15. I'm going to take that title, and you're going to crash out, screw up, and lose that title. And then Jey Uso super kicks Logan Paul. He's mentioning crashing out because of all the car accidents that Jey Uso has gotten into. Classic heel stuff from Logan Paul, but Jey Uso is the world champion and does lay out Logan Paul with a super kick. What do you think?
You know, I like Logan Paul. So I'm excited to see this match. I think it could be good. But I don't see Jey losing the title on his first defense, and I don't see them making Logan Paul the world heavyweight champion just yet. So
no way. But
I could see him going after the Intercontinental in the next year.
Yeah, I like the new belt though, the little side plates on it. The
For Jey,
yeah, I think that's cool.
Well, they changed the side plates for everybody.
Yeah, but they don't really do it like that. It's either like black or
it jumps out. Yeah, it does look cool.
Next, we have Judgment Day, which is JD McDonough and Finn Balor with Carlito taking on the War Raiders for a number one contenders shot for the tag titles. The champions, the New Day, are on commentary. Eric accidentally cross-bodies himself into the LED side of the apron. JD McDonough lands a springboard moonsault to the War Raiders on the floor. Eric tosses Finn Balor into the New Day's laps on the commentator's position. And then Penta comes from out of nowhere, pushes JD McDonough off the top rope, and the War Raiders hit War Machine, and the War Raiders are number one contenders thanks to Penta here. What do you think?
Yeah, they're really dragging the Judgment Day thing out. Mm-hmm. But I was just thinking, though, like when we all knew that Damian Priest was going to leave, it took a while, too. So, I mean, it could draw out past SummerSlam. I thought for sure something was going to happen at Mania, but I don't know.
Well, I think
they need to do something with them. So if they're going to keep them together for now, let them.
We got to see Finn and Dominic. That's going to happen sooner than later. Paul Heyman's talking to Sami Zayn backstage and tells him he had to do what he had to do in terms of joining forces with Seth Rollins. He tells Sami that Seth Rollins is offering him a pass and is going to do Sami a favor. Sami will face the winner of Cena versus Orton, and he'll become a number one contender if he joins SmackDown. You can live in the future or die with the past. So, intriguing opportunity there for Sami.
Yeah.
But
Sami's so goody-goody. He's not going to take it.
We'll see.
So, if he was smart, he would.
Becky Lynch comes out next, and I'm happy to see her. Becky says Bayley was tragically taken out of her WrestleMania match, and the person that did it was me. I did it. Don't act like I'm the bad guy. That woman has attacked me nonstop since 2019. She never apologized to me. She always walks around and says, everyone please like me. Why am I not a bigger star? She saw one at WrestleMania, and that was me. Lyra, the friend of my enemy, is my enemy. Lyra would not be in the WWE without me. She cozied up to the woman who attacked me for 6 years. I tried to get her to ditch that bitch. And then as she continues talking, the women's Intercontinental champion Lyra Valkyria comes out. Caw! Lyra says, do you know how many women warned me about you? I didn't buy it because the hopes I had for you. I see it now. The illusion of Becky Lynch is dead. Last time we went one-on-one, I beat you. Becky says, the man fights when it matters, and it doesn't matter to fight here. Lyra says, fine then. I'll put the title on the line at Backlash. I'm going to be a better person, and I already know I'm a better wrestler than you. And then Lyra attacks Becky, and the two get separated. So we have Becky versus Lyra at Backlash. I want Becky to become the Intercontinental champion.
Me too.
But I feel like everyone's going to shit talk and say, oh, well, she wrote herself to be champion. She's Hulk Hogan. Like, but Lyra's, it's not really like this title doesn't really mean much. So it's like, it's not like she's really, it's, if she went after the women's title, then you could say, okay, but this is the Intercontinental. It's like, who's she going to defend against? Ivy Nile? Like, it's not like there's that much serious. She's not really taking anybody's spot, is what I'm trying to say with this. Like, people are saying, like, oh, she took Bayley's spot and da-da-da. But this is a brand new title that no one really cares about. So it's not like... But anyways, go ahead.
Do you think instead of a water bottle, she uses a bird feeder?
What?
Do you think instead of a water bottle, she uses a bird feeder?
Lyra?
Yeah.
Well, she's in the nest all day, so she just... I don't know how birds get their water.
Yeah, I really want Becky to kick her ass. Like, she's very boring. She has no personality. I'm so over it. Like, honestly, there's a lot of people in NXT I would rather see brought up to the main roster than her. I'm over it. I don't hate her. Like, she's a good wrestler and everything, but she needs to get some edge.
Becky needs to kick her
and
ass.
I totally think Becky will win the championship.
She will.
She's got it.
We see Penta get into an altercation with Chad Gable backstage. He kicks Chad Gable for talking shit about Rey Fenix. We get a promo from Rusev, and he's basically talking about how he's going to destroy everybody. We then see NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer defend against Ivy Nile with Chad Gable in her corner, and Stephanie gets the win after an SVB. I like Stephanie, but don't give a shit about Ivy Nile, so this match, we fast forward through it.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter to me. We see Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio.
Isn't Stephanie the NXT Women's Champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominic and Liv and Raquel are all backstage, and they trash talk AJ Styles. We'll probably get Dominic versus AJ for the Intercontinental title. That'll be a decent match, I think.
That'll be good.
We then go to the commentary table, and Pat McAfee climbs on top of the desk. Pat says, a lot of people have forgotten who the hell I am. I was not handed a lot in this life. I went from an unknown bum to someone known in every city. When I die, I want to be known as a hard worker that I gave back, and I was a loyal motherfucker. You must ride for those who ride with you. Michael Cole has been with me since the beginning. When that Austrian asshole put his hands on the goat, I had to protect him. Fuck it. If I die, I die. All this, I want to fight Gunther ASAP. And then Nick Aldis comes out. He says the suspension on Gunther is not lifted, but we will see Pat McAfee versus Gunther at Backlash. And Pat says, cool. And I really like this promo. A lot of people liked it too, but when I first heard it, I thought, okay, this is like, I don't think he's going to win, but this is like a good promo. He's talking about how he really came from nothing. He's just there to protect his friend, but he said it with a lot of passion, and I liked it. What do you think?
He did. I thought Pat McAfee gave a great promo, better than a lot of the wrestlers can give. I don't really know what his wrestling capability is like, but
he's decent.
I would think he was. He was really great at football.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's a good wrestler. He does a lot of like high flying shit too.
Yeah,
like he does like a shooting star press. He's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's why like when he fought Austin Theory at I remember you saw that WrestleMania where Vince gets stunnered by Austin. Yeah. That was like ridiculous because Pat like prior to that like fought and did some good matches in NXT, but I'm excited for Gunther and Pat. I think they'll have a decent match.
Wait, Pat McAfee fought in NXT?
Yeah,
was he announcing or was he just
He came in, I think, as an announcer, but then he became a heel. And he started fighting with the Undisputed Era and Adam Cole. And he was in War Games and all that.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look some up. Maybe you could show me some.
Yeah. We see Jey Uso talking to Sami Zayn backstage, telling him to kind of like do your thing, don't follow Seth. And then Logan Paul knocks out Jey Uso with a hard right hand. What do you think?
I just thought, there could always be a possibility that Sami could join them.
Oh.
Seth.
Good.
Because, like, we've all been kind of feeling a Sami Zayn heel turn coming on. So, and the other thing I wanted to say was, I'm really disappointed that Becky is not kind of part of it. I think she should definitely join Seth and Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker. I don't think they're going to, but it would be, like, really cool if she did.
I agree. I like Becky, and she'd be the first sort of woman to kind of, in a long time, be involved in a storyline like that.
Yeah, like that.
So, speaking of that, Seth Rollins comes to the ring and calls out Sami Zayn. Seth says, 20 years of friendship. You celebrated last week with Jey Uso. I thought I would get the same respect. I believe with my heart, me, Bron, and Paul Heyman is the best future for WWE. The fact that you don't believe in me hurts. When my baby girl was born, I came to you for advice. Allow me to give you a piece of advice that can save your life. Take the pass. Whatever Paul Heyman's got lined up for you, take it. If you stay, bad things will happen to you, and I don't want that. Sami says, everything you're saying is true. We are real friends. Inside this ring, I think you're playing games, and you're really good. You're dangling what I want in front of me. Have you known me ever to run away? You're threatening me now. I have been a target 1,000 times before. I will not be threatened. I will become champion, but not because of a favor. As a friend, I love you, but this is me telling you to go to hell. And then Bron Breakker comes out with Paul Heyman to take on Sami Zayn here. And Bron pretty much destroys Sami. Bron jumps off the apron onto Sami Zayn across the announce desk. Basically, Bron Breakker then spears Sami Zayn 3 times on the floor as Seth tells him to do it. And then Seth Rollins stops Sami Zayn to end Raw. And the future of the industry, I think, is this faction's called, stands tall here. What do you think?
Is that what they're calling it?
That's what they're saying online.
And, I don't really think it's fair to compare him to Roman Reigns. Like, Roman wants it to be like this godlike figure. Like, Seth is not like trying to get all these people underneath him. He's like trying to get past guys like CM Punk, who are fake.
Fun fact though, that what is that, a sport coat supposedly costs like $30,000.
The one Seth had on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably like Versace or something crazy.
Ridiculous. He's wearing like a fucking
Where'd you see that?
It was somewhere online. They just said, because they found like a screenshot of like where you could buy it and the price of it.
It's funny because I was thinking he almost is like dressing like the Messiah type with the robes. And...
Well, we've covered all of Raw. We're recording this on Friday, May 2nd, so there will be a SmackDown later on tonight that we'll be giving a recap of. I definitely will be. Tomorrow we'll probably watch Stand Deliver, even though I kind of like know some stuff that happened. We'll still just watch it to cover it, the NXT show. And then we have more Attitude Era coming your way. We're on the road to SummerSlam, so make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, stay safe
and
stay uncensored.